When my boyfriend and I are doing the dirty on his bed, I notice there's a little lens pointing straight at us. He goes to grab it and we realize it's a little camera. The whole time we've been doing stuff on his bed, it's been recording us. That's when my boyfriend Dan said that it must have been his crazy ex. Let's call her Casey. He had told me that she was really crazy, but I didn't think she was that crazy. Dan starts looking throughout his whole apartment and he finds 2 more little cameras. One in the kitchen and one in the bathroom. As you can imagine, we didn't sleep that entire night. Of course, we went to the police and they opened an investigation, but they said they couldn't find anything. A week later, I get a DM from Casey, his ex-girlfriend. She starts abusing me through DM, calling me a bunch of names. She even said that I stole Dan from her, but I hadn't even met Dan when they broke up. Then she sends me a picture of my house, which means she knows where I live. I go straight to my boyfriend's apartment, and when I open the door, guess who's there? Casey is sitting on the couch with my boyfriend. It gets scarier.
Story of the time my childhood was ruined for the first time. So basically the house that I lived in my entire life had a giant tree outside in the front yard. I called it my climbing tree. I would climb that tree and hug it and literally talk to it as if it was a person. This is gonna sound really corny, but every time that I got into problems with my neighbor, if you've been here for a while, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Anytime I would have problems with my family, at school, anything in general, I would climb the climbing tree and I would sit on one of its branches and I would just talk to it, you know? I would be like, you're the only person here for me. And it was a tree. Now that I'm telling this story, I realize how sad it is. Then one bright sunny afternoon, I get home from school. What do I see outside? The landscapers. What do I see on the side of the road? My climbing tree!
Sure, I was also confused about this for a while, and then I learned. So you're gonna wanna take your nail tips. I usually get the biggest one, and then you're just gonna want to take it right and slide it in as far as it can go, and then you're done. Sometimes I put nail glue on the back of it so that it'll stick and not like move around, but yeah. That's how you do it. Here. This is how you take it on and off. So you're just gonna want to find one that's the size and pop it on like that. And then to take it off, you just go like this. Or if you slide it out, it'll come out like this.
Story of the time I helped my friend propose to his girlfriend in high school. We will name him Steve. So this was the dynamic of our friend group. Me, Steve, his girlfriend, and my best friend at the time. We'll name my best friend at the time Kate. I'm just going to refer to his girlfriend as his girlfriend. Anyway, Steve and his girlfriend were dating for a while. He was a senior and she was a junior. Their relationship was pretty toxic, not gonna lie. They talked about moving in together, they talked about having kids together, so they were pretty serious. Even though they were serious though, their parents wouldn't let them date. So the only time they could see each other was in school. Anyway, he decided he wanted to make a really big poster that said, "Will you marry me?" and hang it on a wall in school. So Steve and my best friend at the time, I forget what I named her, they stayed up really late one night making a poster. I forget why, but I couldn't go for some reason. But I met them at school really early the next day at like 7. Mind you, school started at like 8:30. And we find the perfect spot to hang the poster. All the way in the back of the school by the locker rooms in between the girls and the boys' bathroom. So his girlfriend comes in, sees the poster, cries, says yes. But they broke up a few weeks later.
A father was listening to his daughter pray, "God bless mommy, God bless daddy, God bless grandma, goodbye grandpa." "Honey, why did you say goodbye grandpa?" "I don't know, daddy, it just felt right." The next day her grandpa dies, and the father just thought it was a strange coincidence. A week later the dad was listening to his daughter pray again. "God bless mommy, God bless daddy, goodbye grandma." The next day the grandma died. The father started thinking, wow, my daughter must be very special. A week later he was listening to his daughter pray again. "God bless mommy, goodbye daddy." He started freaking out and couldn't sleep all night. He left early and went to his office. He was nervous all day and kept watching the clock. He felt safe in his office and figured if he could make it to midnight, he would be okay. Once it hit midnight, he went home. When he went home, his wife said, "I've never seen you work so late. What's the matter?" "I had the worst day of my life." "Yeah, well, my day was worse. The mailman dropped dead on our porch."
What's one really bad thing you did as a child that you kept secret for your entire life and didn't tell nobody? I'll go first. I got a lot of stories like this, but this is just one of them. So my mama used to put me in daycare, and in my daycare, we used to do field trips, and we went to the YMCA. So while we were in the pool, this one white kid comes up to me. He asked me, like, "Why are you black?" And I was kind of embarrassed, but I wasn't mad at the kid. I was more embarrassed than I was mad. And I told him that my parents painted me every single day. And I was thinking back at the time when I scraped my knee and the skin came off and there was like no blood. It was just bone. But I didn't know that it was bone. I thought that I was just white underneath. So I was like, it's true, like I can peel my skin off and prove it. When I did that, I peeled skin off my finger and it was a lot of skin and I started bleeding really bad. So the water started getting red and the daycare people tried to get everybody out the water like there was something going on. And then once everybody was out of the water, one of the daycare people go, I'm so sorry, everybody. I lost my tampon. I need to find it. Okay, so what happened was pretty self-explanatory, but I can make a part 2 if you guys want.
So I used to know this girl who would constantly say things like, guys, sorry, I'm so ugly. I just ruined the whole group photo, I'm sorry. And then everyone would automatically comfort her and be like, no, you're beautiful, you shine. And then she would be like, no, but thank you. And she would do the same thing over and over again, trying to get everyone's attention. So eventually I got tired. So the next time she came to me saying, I'm so ugly, I was like, you know what? You are. She was like, what'd you say? And I was like, bitch, if you think you're ugly, I can crop you out of the photo. The fuck do you want me to tell you? I'm not the one who made you look like a woolly mammoth.
Sugar Daddy asked me where I lived. I was not about to tell him where I lived. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. I told him I couldn't tell him. And he got really upset and offered me $2,000 more, which means that he would be paying me $7,000 a month. Then he said that he didn't want me to be with any other sugar daddies. At this point, I hadn't even told him that I was approached by another sugar daddy. So how did he know that I was talking to another one? I accepted his offer of $7,000 a month, but this only made him even worse. He would call me all the time and ask me where I was, and he would constantly ask me where I lived. He noticed a change in me, and that's when he offered to buy me a car. A Mercedes, to be exact. I didn't know if I should accept or not because I knew it would make him feel like he had more ownership over me. I told him that I wasn't sure if I should accept the car because of his behavior. Then he said that he would buy me my own apartment. I felt really creeped out, so I decided not to answer his phones or his messages the rest of the night. 2 hours later, I'm laying in bed and I hear a really hard knock at my door. It was him.